Welcome to our Tuesday night team training events with the Legacy Project. Today, we are talking about Eric Worre's Go Pro, 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. And what I'll do is that I'll immediately open up the floor for reflections, and I want us to maybe keep them brief and structured, and you'll tell us on which kind of scale or what observation you're making based on your listening or your reading of the GoPro book or the audio book. So what I'll do is that I'll open up the floor, and if in like 10 to 15 seconds no one volunteers, I will just pick names.
I'm ready. Can I start? Yeah, Imagine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I am going to be commenting on the audio. I was listening. I was excited by the introduction, even before going to chapter 1. Just the introduction. I have listed down my points. Where the number 1 is not treating the business as a business. The reason why people fail in network marketing is because they don't treat their network marketing businesses as a business. That is point number 1. And number 2, Eric discovered that positive attitude goes away when income dries up. If you have had income for some time, or even if it was just for a few months, once the income dries up, people start blaming everybody and everything but themselves. They blame the company, they blame the product, they blame the compensation plan, they blame their geographical area, their racial group, and all that. They blame the economy. The next point that fascinated me is that Eric built his organization 7 times in 3 years. 7 times. He would build his team, and then it would disappear. Rebuild again, rebuild 7 times in 3 years. He says everything changed for him when he decided to learn everything. Everything about the business, everything about the product, everything about about network marketing as a business. Because he wanted to be an expert. The other thing that helped him was attending a convention. That's when he got a change of attitude. And attending a convention made him to become a better person in the process of personal development. That is what I got from the introduction. And then I also have some points on chapter 1. Can I continue, or should I just stop there? Okay.
Okay. Can we move on to the next person that wants to share? Sihle.
Well, I didn't want to go first because I was waiting for people. But what stuck out for me is him talking about being a network marketing, professional. So just basically, he says, be a person who's an expert with the skills required to build in this business. So the shift for me and what he mentioned for himself was him being a professional and ensuring that he is good with those skills. The other thing he noticed is that it's amazing that doctors will study for 7 years in their profession and take it seriously. However, when it comes to this profession, they just want to do the bare minimum. And the quote that I like, and I even did a post on my Facebook, was that it's just a reminder that you will be the difference between success and failure. It begins and ends with you always. Um, okay. And the other thing that he speaks about as being amateurs in this business is that, at times, not even at times, all the time, people are always focused on the shortcuts. So you're always focused on how you're positioned in the binary. And also what amateurs do as well is, going to malls, putting up banners there as well, he's just basically, and going door to door. So he basically just discusses all the things that he used to do as an amateur that he doesn't do it right now as a professional. So those are the kind of things that he mastered. And then he talks about, let me see. Oh, the other thing I really liked on chapter 5 was the shift for him as a professional was just getting a group of people to do a few simple, consistent things over a long period of time. So say how many, 5 or 6 of us in total. So just getting all of us to do a few simple, consistent things in a short period of time. The other thing that I liked was the invitation formula, which has eight steps, but I don't want to okay, I'll just read it. Can I read it quickly, Kaz? Or okay, I'll stop there. All right, I'll stop there. But yeah, I like that invitation formula and how he breaks it down.
All right, thanks a lot for that share. Let's move swiftly along. Mamsibu Sisiwe must go on. Mamsibu, you're up. It's your turn to shine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening, family. I think I must speak now before you guys finish all the points. My takeaway from this book, firstly, is that there are 3 levels to network marketing, and we need to know where we are, those levels. And that is the imposter who comes here and sees this as just a lottery ticket that can miraculously take them where they were not before. Or it can be an amateur who's just focusing on luck. You are lucky, you get somebody who is interested, or you get an opportunity. And then there are professionals who focus on mastering the required skills, the 7 skills. And he speaks about the importance, if you want to become a professional and move away from being an amateur and become an expert, you need to master the 7 skills, like the skill of how to find prospects, the action of having an active living list where you list everyone that you know, not only somebody, oh, so and so might be interested in this. You need to have a list of everyone that you know, that you meet, and that you work with, that you network with. Actually, you must have a living list that you update all the time. And then he also spoke about the mastering how to invite people, how to invite prospects. I think that's what Sihla was talking about, the professional invite. And when you invite them, you're inviting them to understand the product and the opportunity. In other words, you're not selling to them. You are now a consultant. You are able to speak about the product, to speak about the opportunity. You're not focused on selling to them. And that also you must master the the art of presenting your product where you do not over explain it. And it says we need to use stories, must tell stories like success stories about the product, and we use tools such as videos, such as websites, and so on. But we must not over explain the opportunity. And then also he talks about the importance of following up, where we maintain relationships with our prospects. And I also read somewhere that we must not call someone, for instance, and then you present the thing. You first build a relationship with this person, because sometimes people are sensitive that, oh, you called me after such a long time only because you want to recruit me, you know. So we need to build relationships so that you are able to follow up, because you have built this relationship. And then again, he talks about how to help our prospects to to come into the business, depending on their own interests, depending on their own needs, you know, like they can come in as partners or as customers or as distributors. So you guide them to making decisions by listening to their needs, because you'll find that someone else is not ready to become a partner, for instance, but this person needs it, maybe because of their health condition, or another person needs it because they need the money, you know. So you need to listen very actively to their needs, to the prospects' needs and concerns. And then the other skill it talks about is to help them get started right. Your prospects now, once they're interested, you help them to get started right. He calls it the onboarding process, which was done with me by my upline. And then the importance of promoting events. That is, you promote and attend conventions of the business. Like you said, that example. So me, I focused on those skills. Okay. And then you also talked about long-term patience, that in this in network marketing, you must invest time. It's not an overnight thing. Invest the time, consistent effort, and personal development. You don't stop to develop. I think through these meetings that we are doing, and also through reading, you know, so that we become better people of presenting the business. And then lastly, he talks about the law of association. And he refers to this quote that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, which means you need to surround yourself with positive people, driven people, and successful people, you know. So those are my takeaways, those skills, and the mindset for this kind of business. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mamsibo. I wonder, you had joined us on the call, Elin and Samantha, and I'm sure you've had to listen to this audiobook. Is that correct? For sharing the lessons that we learned from the audiobook, you can share your observations. You had listened to it.
Oh, yeah. Hello, how's everybody?
Hi, how's it, Dylan?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, I did listen to a few points. I think it's steps that we have to go through. I don't know if you guys had maybe a briefing or something or a video, because we just came at home now and we saw the message and we somehow joined the meeting.
Okay.
So yeah, we did hear a few things, and like I said most earlier, that we are still in the learning process. So yeah, so for now we will really like to know more, but we have to listen. It's not that we have questions. I don't have questions right now because I don't really fully understand uh how exactly how does it actually like work completely,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, but
No.
questions will come, and I
Yeah.
am a really talkative person, so
Yeah.
questions will come.
Yeah.
It's just that I must first fully understand like the basics, like the CC said now, from the amateur to professional to, you know, it does take time,
Yeah.
and right now at the moment we're actually struggling with time.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
but we are reading
Mm.
and we are getting information, but not fully understanding yet.
Okay.
Thank you, my man.
All right. No, thanks, Elin and Samantha. No, I think just as an observation, it's fine. You can mute. Just as an observation, and I think this is where Magdax, your upline comes into play, is a kind of orientation or a reorientation to kind of match where they are in terms of their knowledge and where they want to be and the kind of time. Is my audio bad? Sorry, my audio cut off a little bit there. Where their limitation on time, for example, where what their limit on time is. I think there's a discussion that needs to be had between yourselves and Magdax. But thank you so much for sharing that. And this is what this platform is for. This platform is to for us to learn and evolve. And some of us are further ahead in terms of understanding and knowing the business, and others like yourselves at the beginning. All of those levels of understanding are welcome because we're all growing. We're growing at different pace, but we're all growing, and I think that's important. Mama Spino?
It's a challenge. A lot has been said. So I will be jumping from here to there.
Oh.
I think there are things I love also the way he shares this information. One of the things that caught my attention is that all these levels, what is the first one? The amateur and the professional, the one before the amateur, what is it? Anyway, all of them can be in one person. Okay. You can be that person, and at one point you are a watcher, or at another point you are an amateur, and then it's up to you to get to the professional stage using all the information. He also mentioned that don't sound desperate, because I was listening. Don't look desperate, because if you are desperate, people will run away from you. Yours is it's like you are educating them about the product or the business. You are not recruiting. And so you detach from the whether they are joining or they are not joining. I think I like that as well. As you continue the different skills that have already been mentioned, I think I like the fact that it's you need the skills. Use everything that we have in the system. The online meetings, the YouTubes, the websites to educate yourself, and also, like we would normally say, use the product. She mentioned that if it works for another person, then that means the problem is not the product. The product is fine and it works. The issue is with you. I think lastly, one of the things I liked was at some point you need to say goodbye. You need to ditch your sponsor, your upline. That is cutting off the dependency from your upline or your sponsor. Thank them for having introduced you in the business, and tell them, now I'm standing on my own, and so on. So those were just the few points that stick with me, including the others that people have already mentioned.
All right. No, thank you. Thank you so much, Mumsby. I think, again, just as a reminder, the Eric Warren's GoPro, the 7 skills required to become a network marketing pro is foundational. And this is something that, and the one thing that I like about it is that it is the mastery of those skills, and it takes some time to master those skills, as Eden was mentioning, that you're willing to learn, but it will take time to do that. It actually does take time, which is why repetition is so important. It's like going to the gym. If you want to build physical muscle, you don't go to the gym once, but you go to the gym every day for like 12, 16, 18 weeks, like Sihle has done. And somewhere along that line, you start seeing muscle definition. And it's the same with personal self-development and personal self-development related to you learning and mastering the industry and the space of network marketing. I think a lot has been covered by everyone. I'll just touch on a little bit because I want to keep this video short, and then we'll spend 5 minutes at the end of the recording. But I really wanted to deal with skill 7 and the last bit. Skill 7 being promoting events, and how Eric Warren talks about how all his breakthroughs happened at events. Last week, Mumspina was sharing how her first breakthrough happened at an event because she didn't even want to be part of the business, but she picked up something at the event which assisted her in making the decision to give this a shot. So, and Eric Warren mentions the difference between, I think, an advertiser and a promoter, someone who simply talks about events and someone who actively promotes about events, and not taking anyone's excuses for not going to the events. In a world where a lot of things are online, it's easy to be distracted online here. We're in our own rooms, we could be doing or anything and all the other things. But
Hi, Elvito. Your network.
Can you hear me now?
You are on and off.
Okay.
Go and join Sihle there.
Okay, 1 second. and just steal this from you. Yeah, so I was just talking about events and how it is so easy to be distracted in how we live our everyday lives. And even though we have access to the convenience of Zooms and the online meeting places, there's just something about giving time up once or twice a year whenever your company has an event. We have an event, of course, on the 1st of November that we continue to promote right now. And there's probably going to be a LifeWave event as well at the end of the year. And when we become promoters, and I want to link this to what Sihle said, where she talked about finding a small group of people that repeat consistent actions. One of the actions is finding a small group of people who are going to be promoters with you, because from that small core leadership group, you're really able to have a stability or a base of leaders that can lead thousands and tens of thousands of distributors, like-minded individuals that want to build this big. So that's what I wanted to share on my side with regards to the book. But I think this was a very good session, a very good session on being able to reflect. We're all listening to the same book and listening to the same things, but it's so interesting to hear each and every person's nuanced understanding or what they pick up about the exact same thing that we're all listening to, and how that feeds back into the group that we can only learn and grow from. Yeah. So because I'm using someone else's portal, I'm going to go to the other room. But if I don't sound, you can close off the call. Next week we're doing another round of the 10 steps, and then we'll find out who's going to be doing the reflection next week. But yeah, let me go on to that other side and you can add,